Pikmin 3 Deluxe was the first time the Pikmin series had entered the HD era, and boy did it look great, and it continues to now. Everything looks so natural, and it feels like I'm once again a child wandering through a large forest. I'm unaware of what lies ahead, but that only fuels my curiosity and urge for exploration. Now available on Nintendo Switch, Pikmin 3 Deluxe brings the mainline series on the go with some gameplay refinements and newly added content. Pikmin 3 Deluxe follows the story of three space travelers from the planet Kopi, a planet running out of food sources. With doom on the horizon, it's up to Alf, Brittany, and Charlie to travel to PNF 404, better known as the Pikmin planet, in search of a new food source. When the crew's spaceship, the SS Drake, crashes, the three crew members land upon the planet's surface where our story begins. Pikmin 3 continues on the mainline series story with some fun Easter eggs and connections that culminates as a whole series. However, one can easily start Pikmin 3 as their first game in the series should they choose to. While it's lighthearted on the surface, the darker undertones led to this being one of Nintendo's more fascinating and interesting games from a story standpoint. Pikmin 3 introduced a lot of firsts for the Pikmin series. It was the first game in the series where you can control up to 3 players at once, and that's up from the 2 playable characters in Pikmin 2. This mechanic allowed for far more interesting and unique puzzles. For example, you can not only just throw your Pikmin like usual, but you can now throw your teammates too, to reach places you previously couldn't otherwise. Furthermore, combat has gotten some improvements with more precise attacks. Your Pikmin would attack their body, but that's been improved with Pikmin 3. Throwing a Pikmin at a Bulborg's eyes means that you can blind the enemy while still landing damage. One great feature added with Pikmin 3 is the continuation of boss battles. If you end up fighting a boss battle until the end of the day, you can come back the next day and continue on the boss battle from where you left off. This deluxe version introduces a few new refinements to the original Wii U game too. Oddly enough, lacking the Wii U gamepad is not a problem with this iteration. Nintendo has done a great job at remapping controlling multiple characters to a few buttons in the menu and the face buttons. If anything is missed, is being able to use the Wii Remote as a controller, personally my favorite controller for any Pikmin game. While yes, you can use gyro controls on both the Pro Controller or the Joy-Con, I still enjoyed the pinpoint accuracy of the Wii Remote. The Joy-Con and Pro Controller do a good enough job with their motion controls, but I did find myself having to continuously recenter my reticle during gameplay. At least this Switch iteration finally includes split-screen co-op for those that love Bingo Battle but wanted that multiplayer fun in the campaign as well. The addition of a new lock-on feature also makes controlling multiple characters in Pikmin a breeze. Little refinements like these ultimately help make the transition to Nintendo Switch feel like a true definitive version despite not having the Wii Remote as an option. On paper, one of the biggest changes is the addition of a new difficulty mode called Ultra Spicy, though it's more than meets the eye. You see, the hard difficulty in the Deluxe version is the normal mode for the Wii U, while the Deluxe version's normal mode elongates the amount of daytime you have to complete the task during the campaign, ultimately making it easier than usual. Ultra Spicy, on the other hand, is an actual challenge mode, cutting down your total amount of Pikmin available from 100 Pikmin to 60. The cut in resources makes for some fun but challenging resource management, helping Pikmin truly shine as an entertaining RTS. Lastly, outside of the campaign is a new side story mission mode that connects the previous Pikmin games to the current game. It's a great new content addition while still having the friendly faces of Captain Olimar and Louie from Pikmin 1 and 2. These missions change up some familiar locations with new additions, and while their fun is limited to feeling more like a challenge mode, my personal favorite multiplayer mode will continue to be the Bingo Battle. This competitive versus mode has you collecting different objects on the bingo card in a battle against your friends. Sadly, this definitive version does not feature an online mode, something that was greatly missing in the Wii U version as well. While Pikmin 3 doesn't receive any notable visual upgrades from its Wii U counterpart, it does a good job at finding a balance of maintaining its presentation while bringing the experience on the go. Pikmin 3 Deluxe maintains its 720p resolution in dock mode while running a dynamic 720p to 540p in handheld mode. While playing in handheld mode is certainly softer than the Wii U version, the game does a good job of hiding its blurred visuals with its depth of field effects. The frame rate for the most part is a consistent 30 frames per second, nothing amazingly better than the original, but at least more consistent, and the fruit juicing effect doesn't drop the frame rate like the Wii U version did. As for the visual style and presentation, I loved Pikmin 3 back on the Wii U and I continue to do so on Nintendo Switch. The mix of natural looking environments and alien-like creatures that somehow still feel plausible is fantastic. I couldn't help but feel like a small child in the forest seeing all the wildlife that fostered in an alien wonderland, and yet still have it feel like it could be a thing on Earth in some alternate reality. Pikmin 3 has some soothing and feel-good music at every corner. It perfectly sets the tone for this title and even more, makes for some great background music for writing reviews too. If Nintendo ever made something close to lo-fi beats, I think it'd be something from Pikmin 3. There's a sense of wonder that only is heightened by the music selection with this title. Pikmin 3 Deluxe continues to be a cute, charming, yet challenging and entertaining RTS that went vastly underappreciated on the Wii U. With this transition to Nintendo Switch, new refinements to its gameplay, and additions to its mechanics, Pikmin 3 Deluxe proves to be by far the definitive way to play this Nintendo gem. While visuals could have been improved ever so slightly more, Pikmin 3 Deluxe looks as beautiful as ever, and having this experience on a portable device feels as magical as crash landing on the world of Pikmin itself. Thank you all very much for watching this Pikmin 3 Deluxe review. If you enjoyed it and found it useful, then give it a like, maybe subscribe for more content just like it. And if you want to check out the original Wii U review, you can check it out in the description down below, though it is very old and I wrote it when I was in high school. I'll see you all in the next one.